안녕하세요. 50일 화요일 51일차 읽고 갈게요. 아이고, 저 완전히 아직도 딸아이 학교에 있어요. 그래가지고 네, 읽고 가보도록 하겠습니다. Day 51. 잘 보이시죠? Chapter 11. 이렇게 하겠네요. 저 얼굴 너무 가리나요? Chapter 11. Leanie and even Sam were both a little surprised to see Hank. He was that handsome. It was as if he had stepped out of the comic book. I felt rather important since I had sort of discovered him. He picked up Sam and strode quickly to the truck. You girls sit in back. I thought I heard dogs baying in the distance, and I remembered I'd heard rumors about Mr. Linden owning vicious dogs. Lynn and I climbed in. Right before Hank started the truck, he leaned out the window and looked at us. I said, hang on. He said, hang on. He grabbed some straps attached to the inside of the truck bed. I could see inside the cab. Sam lay wide-eyed across the seat, his eyes locked on mine. I smiled slightly and laid my hand on the glass. He smiled very slightly at me and reached his hand up toward mine. We bumped across the field again. This time we sped in a different direction. We reached the street in a short time. Hank drove expertly, but very fast. I looked behind us and saw our bicycles lying in the grass. I felt strange to be speeding through the streets of this neighborhood where I didn't belong, in a truck where I didn't belong, with my brother hurt and my sister sick. I thought of all those stories I had to read for school and the question the teachers always asked. What is the theme? What does the story mean? Why did the characters act in a certain way? We whizzed by the pretty houses. It seemed that at this moment I was inside the story. This was a story of my life, and I did not know what any of it meant. Despite all that was terrible about that day, I found myself exhilarated by the sheer adventure of the moment. And most of all, in fact, that by myself I had found this man Hank Garvin, who was going to save my brother. It seemed amazing. We pulled up to the hospital where my brother had been born. Hank ignored my sister and me and picked up my brother and was already running toward the hospital doors as Lynn and I stepped down from the truck. We hurried back Hank. By the time we got inside, Sam lay on a gurney and was being rushed away. Hank watched. We stood beside him. He smiled at us. He's going to be fine, he said. Lynn hugged me. The hospital called our parents. Hank sat in the waiting room with us. Once he looked at his watch and left the room to make a phone call. When he returned, he had a coloring book and a few broken crayons for me. I was a little old for that, but I said thank you and pretended to be absorbed in coloring. Every so often I peeked at Hank Garvin. White people were not really mean to me, but they were rarely nice either. 네, 여기까지네요. 내일 할 부분까지 다 읽어봤습니다. 네, 여기서 가볼게요. 뿅.